What's up, my friends? Not only am I going to discuss this play of the day, well, of the morning, we're going to go over the player prop trends, the best in the game. We're going to use the optimizers. That's right. Fliff, Onyx, Underdog, Rebet, a lot coming at you. So buckle up and let's get paid. Okay, so this is MySparryEdge.com. Bam, Adebayo versus the Toronto Raptors. Let's talk about the game logs. Let's talk about the trends, the matchup, my take, what to do with it. So you can see 16.5 points is cashed in 9 straight games. 17.5, depending on what sportsbook you get it at, has cashed in 8 straight games. So let's go over the why. Now, again, the first play of every single YouTube video is going to be one of my VIP picks, my morning best pick of the day. It's like my first look take. Maybe that's a better phrasing for it. But here's what I wrote for my members. I love this at 16.5. And you could see I got it down here on Bet Rivers minus 130 at 16.5. This morning at 8:31 a.m. Current line, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you were to log into Odd Shopper later and OS Tails, and you're like, all right, what's Donut's pick? It's my lunchtime. Let's see. When you click this, it will actually drop down and show you all the live odds for this play on every single sports book that they have here. There are dozens. So you can, if you'd like, use OS Tails, my VIP service, and get the best play at the best odds for every single post that I deliver. Now, you can also click this button if you're on mobile, on PC, and it'll open the actual wager up into the sportsbook. It's pretty cool. But here are my notes. Love this at 16.5. I like it a lot at 17.5 as well. Widely available at 17.5. Totally fine with that. I might make it my Underdog Streaks play of the day. So stay tuned. Bam without Jimmy Butler had averaged 21.9 points per game last year, cashing the over in 23 of 27 games. This season, mixed bag of success till recently. 18 points per game over in 15 of 26. Not bad overall, but hey, again, last 8 straight games without Jimmy Butler, he's cashed the over at 17.5. And as we saw on the MySparryEdge.com player card, 9 in a row at 16.5, averaging 23.5 points per game. Toronto giving up top 10 amount of points per game to opposing centers. Bam has played 34 plus minutes in 8 straight games, regardless of blowouts and competition. I don't mind laddering this to 20 plus. I took the 16.5 without a second thought. And of course, the 17.5. Don't think twice. Again, that is a very, very good line. In fact, it might even be a little bit better depending on the odds you can get. And I believe I saw ESPN bet was minus 105. There it is. So if you want it, grab it there. That is your first look pick of the morning. Oh, there it is. Bang. We just found it. The first look pick of the morning. All right, let's look at the player trends. This is the top trending player props. These are the guys with the most success or whatever their line is. So John Collins at 1+ block. 1+, just needs one. One has had a block in 14 of the last 15, 19 of the last 20, 28 of 35 games, averaging 1.06 blocks per game. But look, more recently, last 15 games, 1.47 blocks per game. That might be a very nice play today. We'll scroll past what these discount lines are. Corey Kispert for the Wizards had a turnover in 36 of 48 games as he's been getting a little bit more run lately, over in 12 of 15, averaging 1 turnover per game. Desmond Bane at 30.5 PRA has cashed the over in 5 of 5 straight, including last night. And they're in a second leg of a back-to-back for what it's worth, over in 9 of 10 games, averaging 33.3 PRA. Now, the Desmond Bane play is a very interesting one. I'm going to click on his name real quick. Let's just open up his game log and then move over to the optimizers. And we could see PRA at 30.5 has been delicious. My goodness. Oh, boy, I really like that. So matchup against the Magic's the reason. They're slow pace. They are good defense. They basically grind the shot clock up every possession. It's very annoying playing against Orlando and betting against them with player props. But I will say this is quite a low line. Let's type in ORL and see if he's played them this season. And yes, he played them earlier this year. In 28 minutes in that game, he had 22 PRA. So kind of indicative of the fact that they are just not a fun team to bet against. However, this is a very low line, and some would say this is a trap line. All right, moving on. Let's do some optimizing, my friends. We'll go full screen. You guys don't need to see my face. Here's the NBA Flip Optimizer. All right, remember, taking the 3% plays or higher. By the way, before I forget, yesterday's recap, I took a screenshot because there were so many 3% or higher plays on the Onyx Optimizer. It went 5 and 4. However, I think there's a little this convoluted here. So Stephon Castle and Aaron Fox. Listen, news came out later in the day that Wemby he's going to be out for the season. He had a blood clot. So, neither of these were on there after the news. If we were to take those two off the board, which, hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. NBA news cycle can get you sometimes. It went 5-2. However, leave them all in there. 5-4. We had a couple plus odd wins in here. Some very good odds here, -110. So it ended up being, rough math, about 0.7 units profit. And that's the goal, right? Use the Flip Optimizer. That was just one screenshot from the morning during my live show recording. Do that every 20, 30 minutes all day. You're going to have dozens of plays. And more often than not, you're going to end up with some solid profit. 4, 5, 6, 10 unit nights, stuff like that. It's rare that you get shelled. Your bankroll gets busted. It just is rare. Because when you're taking so many positive expected value plays and you're getting ROI of 3% to 5% on all of these plays over the course of time, over a course of volume, an abundance of plays, the variance will smooth out and you'll start just getting that 3 to 5% return on your investment. And it adds up. It adds up. It's just a math game. It's purely math. I'm telling you right now, do this for Fliff, college basketball, NHL, NBA, do it on Onyx, same thing. And you do that daily, nightly, as many times as you can, and you're going to be a good spot to profit. All right, listen, I'm just trying to teach you a little bit. All right, I digress. Flip Optimizer, 3% or higher plays. Let's look, and drum roll, there's one. There's only one right now. This early in the morning, that's unfortunate. But we got Rudy Gobert. Double, -140 odds on Flip. Let's look at some of these other ones quickly. Zach Edey for an assist, -130. Max Strus over 15.5. Had himself a bad game last night, but trust the process. This guy's getting minutes right now. His line does seem low. -105. Very good odds. Lou Dort to get over 2.5 threes, +130. Listen, these are all 2-ish% plays. So, do what you want with this. I'm not there. I'm just not there. It's 3% or higher for me, and that's it. Let's go over to the Onyx Optimizer. Actually, let's see. Fliff, NCAA, anything good here? Nope, nothing this morning. Let's go to Onyx and NBA, and they're usually loaded with value, man. They're such an interesting exchange. I'm going to remove this so we can see more plays. I should have done that in the other one. Andrew Wiggins. Oh, my goodness. Look at all these plays over 3%. Oh, okay. I'm going to take a screenshot. We'll go over it again tomorrow. Again, this is one moment in time. This is just one moment in time. You can do this all day. Literally, refresh this page in 30 minutes. 70% of these plays will not be here, and they'll be replaced with other ones. So do this all day. You'll put yourself in a great spot. But here's a 4%er. Let's talk about these. I have posted 4% plays 32 times inside Discord. In those 32 posts, 25 of them have won. It's been such a revelation that when you see these 4% plays, you just plug them, you play them, and you don't think twice, that we're actually creating a Discord bot that will alert MySparbyEdge.com members anytime there's a 4% play on any sport. It will alert in Discord what the play is and, what platform, the odds, what direction to take it, all that stuff. So that bot will be out soon for MySparbyEdge.com members. Grab that link down below. It's $10 for your first month with code STREAM, STREAM. All right, let's move on. All right, so I decided, just running late in this video. Again, as usual, I'm just taking so much more time than I meant to take. Really fast, let's look at the Underdog Optimizer here. And again, purely math-based approach. You guys and gals out there can just snag them and run them if you'll want to. If not, listen, I originate my own picks on Underdog as well. So let's go over to Underdog. All right, so we're on Underdog. Bam Adebayo, and I don't have his projection here. That's right. I was looking for his points that I already talked about with the first look pick of the morning. It ain't there. So let's move on. There's a couple other players that was interested in this morning, my short list, and let's go ahead and bring some of them up. I'm going to type in Malik Monk. I liked his rebounds and assists this morning. That is not there. How about DeRozan? Same exact player projection here. His assists and rebounds, and not there. So listen, we're missing a lot of stuff this morning. It's early. I shoot this early in the morning. I believe it's like 8:30ish when I began. So it is what it is. We're not going to get everything. By the way, let's talk about this one real quick though. DeMar DeRozan I'm going to go over to the player odds, and let's go to rebounds and assists, and let's look at DeRozan real quick. And, listen, you get a play that's on my short list here. 7.5 rebounds and assists, and you can see very good odds. Multiple books, looks totally fine. I'm going to click on his name. We're going to look at his RA, and you're going to see it's been glorious. It's been glorious since they made their trade. 11, 10, 10, 10, and 9 RA last 5 games. No De'Aaron Fox. He's playing tons of minutes here. 37, 32, 39, 37, 43. The matchup against the Warriors, GSW. This season, he played them two times. 31 minutes, had 1 RA, and then played them 39 minutes and had 7 RA. Totally different team, though. Here's the deal. You got to look at this without Fox and how things have been. And here are the games. It goes all the way back to Minnesota. Here's the first game after they traded him. So no Fox against Minnesota, had 12 RA, then 4 against Orlando. They're a ground house. We've already talked about them. And then here you go. Here's the rest. So he's had 10 plus in 5 of the 7 games, 9 plus in 6 of the 7 games without De'Aaron Fox. He's also had about 16 potential rebounds and assist opportunities per game across those 7 games. So this is a very good play. Needs to be on the short list here for tonight. And for what it's worth, last season, 9.7 RA per game for the Chicago Bulls in a very similar role, playing a lot of minutes, having a decent amount of usage and potential assists nightly. So I like this play. So maybe wait for a play like this one to open up over there on Underdog, going there for the projection. Look for the RA 7.5. I'm telling you right now, 95% positive this one ends up being an official play for my Discord. Another player on my short list today is going to be Jalen Green, going lower than 21.5 points on the road against the Wolves, coming off the All-Star break. Yeah, this could be an interesting one. He struggled against the Wolves historically, but most importantly, Jabari Smith is supposed to be back for this game. In games with Jabari Smith, he has not looked good this season. In fact, on the year, he's averaged 19.4 points per game with Jabari Smith, lower than 21.5 points in 21 of 33 games. That's 64% of the time. Last season, almost identical, 19.1 points per game, and went lower than this number and 62% of the games. And that's just crazy, right? Like 19 field goal attempts per game without Jabari Smith to just 15.9. Loses 3 field goal attempts per game, but we're getting the same exact player projection at 21.5. I love this play. I'm taking lower here. All right, listen, I tried to throw a lot at you, give you a bunch of free stuff, free info, free picks, free optimizer, free underdog, the free first look pick of the day. Hopefully it's helpful. I hope this sends you off into the weekend with your pockets flush and you feeling good about yourself. I love y'all. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I'm here all the time now. My lungs are back. I'm over the flu. I'm getting there. And I'm going to keep pumping out videos for you. Appreciate you. Let's get paid.